First Kings chapter 21 verses 1 to 4. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, next to the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. So Ahab spoke to Naboth, saying, Give me your vineyard, that I may have it for a vegetable garden, because it is near next to my house, and for it I will give you a vineyard better than it. Or if it seems good to you, I will give you its worth in money. But Naboth said to Ahab, The Lord forbid that I should give the inheritance of my fathers to you. So Ahab went into his house, sullen and displeased, because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he said, I will not give you the inheritance of my fathers. And he lay down on his bed and turned away his face and would eat no food. Almost 3,000 years ago, I owned a wonderful vineyard in my father's land of Jezreel. When our fathers gathered at Shiloh, and Joshua cast lots, this land was given unto my tribe, the tribe of Issachar. Since then, it's been our duty and honor to tend to this land. The Lord allowed it to pass from generation to generation until it's reached your humble servant. It's my treasure, my little piece of the covenant, my little piece of the promise made between Abraham and God, where the Lord told Abraham, And I will give unto thee and unto thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. According to his fidelity, the Lord has blessed this land, and it became a vineyard known throughout all of Israel. So you would imagine how I felt when the wicked King Ahab asked me to give up the land, as if he had never heard of the law in his life, where it states, So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. It is not my place to judge the king, but he must have gone mad, to think that I would sell him the land the Lord delivered unto my father's hand. The land which symbolized God's promise to our people, more so to think I would give it to him, this vile man who has done evil in the Lord's sight more than any king before him. He's even allowed that harlot Jezebel to corrupt our people and build a temple for her God in our land. To give him the land was to play into their transgression, and worse, to spit in the face of God and his covenant with our people. So I did what was right. I refused to give him the land. And I would like to tell you that that is where it ended. But that's not how it happened. To spare you the details, this cunning witch Jezebel had me falsely accused of blasphemy, for cursing God and cursing the king for the calamity which had fallen upon the land. As a result, I was dragged out of the city like a criminal, and I was stoned to death outside of the city walls. But I accepted my fate, and I died with peace. I died knowing I had done what was right before the Lord. Looking at my broken, dying body, bleeding out, far away from the inheritance of my fathers, you would think that there was no justice. But in time, God gave Ahab and Jezebel what was their due, and even all those who had worshipped Baal. After learning of my death, the prophet Elijah went to King Ahab and proclaimed to him that none of the male in his family would live after his death. He prophesied that Jezebel would be eaten by dogs outside the wall of the city. But that is not what's important here. God will always pay to each according to their deeds. There is no question about that. The real question is whether you are willing to put your life on the line for what God has given you. It wasn't necessarily about the land. It wasn't about the vineyard. It wasn't about the physical plot of land. It was about honoring God and my fathers. It was about honoring the covenant. I did not want their sacrifice to go to waste. For them to inherit that land, for them to live on that land, they had to conquer it. They had to drive out the pagan people that lived on that land. Many had to die so that one day I could be an owner for that vineyard. And think about it. You are no different. Ever since the church has been established, thousands have given their life. Thousands have become martyrs so that you can lift your hands in a temple. Think, whenever you don't feel like praying, whenever you don't feel like fasting, whenever you don't feel like preaching, whenever you don't feel like living, whenever you don't feel like evangelizing, like you can't do it for yourself, do it for those that have prayed before you. Do it for those that have fasted before you. Do it for those that have preached before you. It's never about us, but it's about the people that we can help with our praise, with our worship, with our words. Second, I want you to understand that you cannot give what's holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample underfoot and turn to you and tear you into pieces. Had King Ahab and Jezebel been God-fearing people, lending him my land would have been an honor. But everything he did disgraced the Lord. And you have to understand that which wants to take your consecration, your testimony, your character, your words, that which wants to take your praise, it's insatiable. This world, the lust of this flesh, the lust of this life, the glory of this life, it's insatiable. Once it's taken your praise, once it's taken your consecration, once it's taken your holiness, it will not stop. It will continue to devour you until the image of God is marred in your life and there is no trace of what you once had. There is no trace of the holy man or woman of God that you used to be. So fight every single time that they want to come for your consecration. And lastly, I want you to understand that I died far away from my inheritance. I died far away from that vineyard. And maybe you will leave CLC. Maybe you will leave this campus, this environment, your friends, the chapel, the sanctuary. You will leave all of it. But you will never leave the presence of God. You will never depart from the Holy Ghost that is within you. Ephesians 1:14 says that the Holy Ghost is the guarantee of our inheritance until the redemption of the purchased possession, to the praise of his glory. People can lie on you like they lied on me. People can give a false testimony about you like they did to me. People can kill your reputation. People can do whatever they want to you, but never give into it. Never give them your promise so that they back off. If it's necessary, die for the Holy Ghost. Die for this promise. In the end, you're just a passenger in this world. What really matters is the life that's to come. And the Holy Ghost that is within you, it's your guarantee. So I encourage you, I urge you, fight for what the Lord has given you.